but letting off goes into EV mode. Wow. Yeah, you can just coast in this thing. What do they call it, hypermiling? Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video, we're going to be reviewing a Hyundai Sonata Hybrid. Now, the reason that I wanted to review this car is because this is the highest appreciating car on the planet right now. If you purchased a Hyundai Sonata at the beginning, well, Hyundai Sonata Hybrid to be more specific, at the beginning of 2021, and then you sold it at the beginning of 2022, you would have had an appreciation gain in value of almost 70%. So we got to figure out what's all the hype. First and foremost though, a huge shout out and thank you to the Murdoch Hyundai here in Linden, Utah for giving me some time with this Sonata. I'm going to include a link to their inventory in the description down below. They have a ton of cool pre-owned inventory, and then obviously they sell the new Hyundais as well, so definitely give them a look. And then on a side note, if you want to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below as well. Let's get into the video. So under the hood, we have a naturally aspirated 2-liter 4-cylinder that goes through a 6-speed automatic transmission, and it's also paired to a hybrid system. Total system output is 192 horsepower and then 151 pound-feet of torque. This car is front-wheel drive, and you're going to be able to average over 50 miles per gallon with this car. I'll show that to you guys in a little bit. Now, before we go over the front end of this car, I do want to mention that this car literally was just traded in. Murdoch Hyundai has not had a chance to look at this car whatsoever. I took it through the car wash. That is it. So just understand that with the review. It hasn't been reconditioned yet or anything like that. Anyways, you guys can see here with the chrome trim that continues into the daytime running light, and then look how bright the headlights are here on the Sonata. And then we've got more chrome trim here that kind of like connects there in the center portion. And so this one actually has a clear bra on it, which is pretty cool. We've got the Hyundai logo there. We also have a camera there below the Hyundai logo as well. And yeah, overall, it's a good looking car from a front end perspective, and the hybrid doesn't really change how it looks. Now, coming around the side here, we've got two 15mm tires wrapped around 17-inch wheels in the front and over in the rear. And you guys can notice here on the wheels themselves, they're actually mostly closed off, which is pretty cool. As you can see, you've got the silver there on the top and then the darker color down below. Now, the wheels being mostly closed off is actually going to help out with aerodynamic efficiency, which will obviously help out with fuel economy. Notice how the fender flare is kind of shaped, and then you can see here with the bodywork on the bottom, how that's kind of darker in coloration. It's kind of hard to tell because this is like a dark gray car. But anyways, you got the mirrors there, pretty normal setup. And then taking a few steps back, again, just a normal Sonata. Now here's our key fob for the Sonata. You've got your lock function, your unlock function. This is for the trunk, then this is for the remote start function. Trunk will automatically pop open. From a storage space perspective, trunk is really solid. You guys have seen my other Sonata reviews, so you know. And then notice here with the seats, you can fold them down with those little functions on either side. And then when you're all done, just throw it down. Notice here with the spoiler that kind of connects the taillights. The taillights on the Sonata are very interesting. Got your hybrid badge there, Sonata logo, front and center. And then we've got parking sensors down below. And then notice that we don't really have like an exhaust tip that pokes out or anything like that. They kind of hide it. Now here's the door panel in the rear. Notice we've got our sunshade here for the rear passengers, and this is a limited, so you can see really nice interior here and the seats as well. You can see, notice it's perforated in the center portion. And something that's cool about the Sonata is it's really spacious, as you can see. And then notice here we've got some vents right there. You've got a USB down below that. Then you got some cup holders as well. And let's head to the front. Now here is the front door panel. Notice how this connects to the handle itself. And then we've got the memory seats here, speaker for the Bose sound system, and then more padding. We've got all of our window controls there with the mirror adjustments. And then here are the front seats. Again, notice it's perforated in the center portion. And then we got our power adjustments there on the side. And then notice with the pedals down below. And then we've got our parking brake here, stability control. That is for the trunk. And then you guys can see here for the battery to reset it. And then notice with the lane departure, and then the steering wheel is manually adjustable. Let's pop in. Now here is the steering wheel with the Sonata. You've got some nice trim all around, and then notice the stitching in the center portion. This does come with steering assist and adaptive cruise control, so it basically drives itself. And then notice we got the paddle shifters there on the back for that 6-speed automatic. You've got your volume and voice command controls here. Turn signal light stock, windshield wiper stock, pretty normal setup. And there's the steering wheel. Here's our center gauge cluster. You guys can see average fuel economy over 50 miles per gallon. Now we do have some different drive modes. So you guys can see there that I just put it into smart. There's an eco mode. And then you guys can see there's a sport and then a custom as well. I love the animations with the different drive modes. But I'm guessing people that are gonna buy this are gonna probably drive an eco most of the time. Now here is the infotainment system. First off, if we pop it into reverse, we do have a backup camera with trajectory lines that turn with the steering wheel. And yes, we have that bird's eye view too. We have this cool like 360 camera system that shows you pretty much every single angle on the car, which is fantastic. And then as for the rest of the infotainment system, first off, response time of the screen is fantastic. Notice we have our hybrid page right here, so you can see everything that's happening right now. So right now we're kind of charging a little bit with the car. And other than that, easy to use. Has Apple CarPlay too, which is great. Sounds of nature, which is also very important, but there you go. We've got our dual zone climate controls down below. We have our heated and ventilated seat controls on top of that. And then also we have a bunch of charging ports here, wireless phone charger. We have the buttons for the transmission selection. This is for the parking sensors, your camera button, your drive mode select, auto hold, and then notice we've got some cup holders here and pretty normal center console setup. Normal glove box as well. Notice there's some nice padding here and stitching on the dash too. Again, kind of like an upscale interior here in the Limited. And then popping up to the very top, you guys can see here with the roof and then the mirror. Pretty normal. So first off, warranty. We have a 10-year, 100,000 mile on the hybrid stuff. And then we have a 5-year, 60,000 mile new vehicle warranty. And then notice we've got the powertrain warranty, 10-year, 100,000 mile as well. And you get complimentary maintenance for the first 3 years. This car isn't brand new, but you know when this car was brand new, it had all that. Notice we have our 270 volt lithium ion battery. You guys can see the rest of the standard equipment. Now pretty much everything is standard here with this car. It's a total MSRP from brand new, $36,305. But like I said, this is like the highest appreciating car, like 70% year over year, which is ridiculous. Let's see how it drives. Quickly talk about visibility before we set off. You guys can see the visibility of the hood, hopefully the heads-up display as well. Both the mirrors, which do have blind spot monitoring. And throughout the rest of the rear. Let's set off. So, setting off in the Sonata Hybrid, aka the most desirable car of 2021, 2022, right? Its value wouldn't have gone up by that much if it wasn't such a desirable car. So we gotta figure out what everyone is raving about with this vehicle. First off, super smooth. We've got the turn signal camera, which is a cool safety feature. It does work for both sides if you guys are wondering. And yeah, just a really cool safety feature, which I really like. Helps out on the interstate quite a bit. This is nice. Okay, so really seamless in terms of the engine turning on and off with this car. Handles great too. I just got it in the eco mode, so this is what most people will drive it in. I love how this drives. I'm running the fuel economy because I'm getting into the pedal a little bit more than the previous owner did. But letting off goes into EV mode. Wow. Yeah, you can just coast in this thing. What they call it, hypermiling. You can definitely do that in this car. It just coasts. No wonder it's able to get the fuel economy that well. Yeah, this is crazy. It's super comfortable. The new Sonata is great, right? Seats are comfortable, and with the limited package, right, it's got this nice luxury interior, which is great. And so there's a lot to love about this car. I think I'm kind of starting to understand a little bit. Now I'm going to really run the fuel economy because we're going to pop it into the sport mode. This will be fun. So we have this stop sign, which is great because we can get an acceleration from a standstill. Okay, now I really understand why people like this car. It's actually quick. The Prius, not so much. This, on the other hand, is actually, like, it moves. Okay. Let's get into selling things up here with this car. So first off, the new Sonata looks fantastic. Compared to other hybrids, this looks a lot better. Tech is also better, especially when you compare this to like Toyota Prius, Camry hybrid as well. So you're winning on all fronts. And then from a driving perspective, it's smooth, it's comfortable. This basically is like the size of the Camry, right? It's bigger than the Prius. So you have Camry size and Camry comfort, but then you have Prius fuel economy. Hey, speaking of Prius. So it basically mixes the best of both worlds. And so that actually, I understand this now, that makes this the most desirable hybrid, because it's the most comfortable, it gets great fuel economy, it's actually quick, it's not slow, and looks cool. And it's got tons of cool tech, which I feel like people that are buying hybrids, they want cool tech. So, yeah, wow. I came into this review and I'm like, you know what? This is just going to be like an overhyped car. But I understand now. I understand why. And obviously crazy gas prices now, so I'm sure this car will go up in value even more. But yeah, this is, I mean, in this segment, best hybrid in this price range. 100%. Everything I've driven, 100%. That's going to sum things up for our video on this Hyundai Sonata Hybrid. Again, a huge shout out and thank you to the Murdoch Hyundai here in Linden, Utah for giving me some time with this Sonata. Check out the inventory in the description down below. I will see all of you in that next video.